Welcome to Richard Quick's instructional videotapes for competitive swimming. My name is Richard Quick from Stanford University. I've coached the women's team here for the past 14 years. We've been very fortunate, winning 7 NCAA championships and 5 before that at the University of Texas. We're very anxious and excited to show you the drills and skills that we use at Stanford University, producing American record holders, world record holders, Olympic gold medal winners, NCAA champions, and people just swimming fast. The principles that we're going to teach in our instructional videotapes were pioneered by Bill Boomer, and I'd like to thank Bill for his input since 1992 in Stanford women's swimming. I'd also like to thank Milton Elms, who's going to work with me in these videotapes. He's going to draw some awesome pictures, and he works with us as a coach, helping us to develop national and international champions. Welcome aboard. We're looking forward to teaching you the techniques of fast swimming. The start is extremely important because when you hit the water off your start, it should be the fastest you'll ever travel in the race. So it's important to maximize that speed, and it's important. It's an honor for me to present to you a great coach, a great clinician, and a wonderful artist. He's done a wonderful job of taking the material that was developed by Bill Boomer, that is, teaching swimming from the inside out, a concept we've been using at Stanford University since 1992. He's taken Bill's information to a new level, and he's done a wonderful job of illustrating the material at a new level. It makes the picture clearer. He's going to give us some illustrations that will help you understand the concepts that we're teaching in the water.
In the start, what we're attempting to accomplish is velocity, and a good way to look at the start is we have the block here. Okay, now the athlete's up on the block. Okay, this is their upper body, head's hanging down. This is the back leg. Okay, and so looking at the head through the leg, the sight line is at the back foot, or where the shoelaces would be on the back foot. Okay, now the athlete's slightly preloaded into this position, so there's energy stored in the body. Now if you think of the center of mass as being located up in this area somewhere, when the hooter goes off and the athlete releases that energy through a knee that cracks forward and collapses, there's an abrupt drop of that center of mass, and this begins a kinetic chain. Okay? And the idea is for that falling center of mass then to be redirected from the pulling arms, the pushing leg back here, and this knee that's already collapsing forward into a pathway. It takes the center of mass as though it's shooting down a slide. Okay? And in fact, it'll pass, or the goal should be, the sensation should be, that it passes through where the knee was when it breaks. Okay? And this gives this whole kinetic chain, it's just a cascade of movements initiated by this collapsing knee that allow an acceleration as the athlete comes off of the block. Okay? And then the energy is redirected, or that velocity is redirected down for the starts. So So that picture of the center of mass swinging and accelerating is what we're looking for in the start. The principle in the backstroke start, the big issue we see in all levels of swimming, from age group swimmers, and I was at the World Championships last summer. I was amazed at the number of swimmers that still had the problem of their feet slipping down the touchpad on their starts. If the athlete thinks of placing the feet close to the surface, as close to the surface as possible, and hinging from the hips towards the wall to set up the start. Okay, here's the athlete's upper body, here's the athlete's legs, here's the athlete's toes. Rather than pulling up, okay, you pull up and get your center of mass up in the air, then the peril, the potential peril here along the wall is increased greatly. But if the athlete hinges forward towards the block and then thinks of, rather than the legs being the creator of the start, thinks about reversing his hinging action with the arms and shoulders as the creator of the start. So when the hooter goes off, the arms and shoulders fire, hinge the body back into this direction here from the hip. Then as the legs come into play, there's very, very little tendency to slide down the wall because the upper body mass is already taking off towards the other end of the pool. Any contraction or any action from the legs then is going to tend to move into that line and just accelerate that mass down the pool. So if you think about hinging towards the wall, feet up high, and firing with the arms and unhinging, and more or less letting the legs react to that, then that's almost a foolproof start in terms of avoiding slipping down the wall.
It's my pleasure to introduce our expert demonstrator today, Miss Shelley Ripple. Shelley is a 24-time NCAA All-American, 12 times in individual events, 12 times in relays. You can't do much better than that. She was NCAA champion her senior year in the 200-yard butterfly with a new NCAA record, as well as swimming the third fastest time in history, 1:55.5 in the 200 individual medley. Shelley Ripple is a fantastic athlete that improved every year and is a fantastic demonstrator for us today. Shelley, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to work on the start. The start is one of the very most important parts of a race. Remember, walls are at least 30% of swimming. The fastest you're ever going to move in the water is off of the start. Now we're going to do some lead-up drills and start work. Coaches, athletes, parents, you've got to do this in deep water. We're in over 9 feet of water here. You got to do this work in a deep water pool. If it's too shallow, it's very dangerous. All right, Shelley, I want you to hook your toes over the edge of the pool. You've got your knee on that kickboard. Now pick a hole in the water that you're going to go through. Line your arms up on that hole, and you want to drop your knee, the lead knee, toward the water, and then take your whole body on a line straight through to the bottom of the pool. As you get close to the bottom of the pool, Shelley, cock your wrist like this just a little bit so that you don't hurt your fingers on the bottom. All right, now pick that hole up, drive your knee forward, right to the bottom of the pool. Pick the hole out, line your arms up with the hole. That's the hole you're going to take your whole body through on a line, Shelley. Your wrist, your shoulders, your body, your hips, your knees, your feet are all going to go through the same hole. take this knee first toward the water and then go right to the hole. Ready, go. And you take that right to the bottom of the pool. This time, on the deck here, put 1 foot forward and 1 foot back. Pick the hole out. Line your arms up with that hole. Now you drop your lead knee toward the water, and then you go right to that hole. And go straight to the bottom on your line. Your whole body goes through the hole. Ready, go. Coaches, what you want the body to do is to go through the same hole, all lined up so the momentum is created from the body weight sliding through the hole. You want that body weight sliding right through the hole on a line. Now let's come up on the starting block. Now you hook your toes over the end good, so you have a good grip. You pick a hole in the water. Same way, you'll drop this lead knee toward the water and take your whole body on a line straight to the bottom of the pool. All right, ready, go. Now you want to make sure that you're lining up with a hole that you're going to get your whole body through. That's more important than how far out you go. And right now you want to get the feeling of getting through the same hole with your hands, wrists, elbows, head, shoulders, hips, and knees, and then feet. Right through that same hole directed straight at the bottom. All right, pick a hole, line it up. Take your knee toward the water, go. There you go. Now, coaches, as you have your athletes go in the water, what do you want them to be thinking about? Posture and line. You want those ribs in. If they let their ribs go out, they're going to have an arch in their back. And they're going to lose wall speed, dive speed right at the entry. You want them to go cutting through that hole, and posture gets that done. Now, pick your hole again, Shelley. All right, you've got it picked?
Yep.
Now you take the knee toward the water, and you dive straight for the bottom, line straight for the bottom, everything through the same hole. Ready, go. That was great posture there through the hole. You want to make sure that you don't get your head below the line. You want to hide your head right in your arms as you're going through the hole. Line it up with the hole there. Now make sure that you take your head right in line with your arms there. Good. You sight the hole. You'll take your knee toward the water. Okay, roll it in. Right there. Great posture into the water, lined up. All right, now we're going to go to a competitive start. And one of the things we believe is that you ought to be standing straight up before the starter says take your mark, so that you're breathing easily before the race starts. If you're already bent over, it restricts your lungs a little bit. So be standing straight up. Now, the starter says take your mark. Step forward. Make sure on this forward step that you have a good grip with your feet on the blocks. Now, the hips are up and back here, so it's going to be a slingshot effect to the line. All right, stand up, Shelley. Now, while you're standing here, be looking at the hole you're going to go through. Envision yourself taking your whole body through that hole. Envision yourself going through there on a great line with awesome posture. Remember, it's much more important to get through the same hole on a line than it is to jump farther out and have your body kind of collapse in the water. Now, another thing, you don't have to jump up on your start. You're already up high enough. Go to that line, jump to the line, jump to the hole.